All right, so you're ready to dive in. Today, it's all about AI, specifically how to build an AI business from scratch. I mean, it's everywhere you look, right? AI this, AI that, huge potential, everyone's talking about it. And maybe, just maybe, you're thinking, hey, could I actually create something in this space?
Yeah, it's definitely a hot topic, and that's probably why you're listening, right? You're either seriously considering taking the plunge and starting your own AI venture, or you're just curious about what it actually takes, what the real steps are. But maybe you're thinking, okay, beyond the hype, where do I even begin? And how do I do this without getting totally lost in all the technical stuff?
Exactly. And we're lucky to have a great guide to help us navigate all of this. We're diving deep into how to start an AI business from scratch.pdf. So the goal today, to really dissect this guide, pull out those essential stages, those must-know considerations when you're just starting out. It's about getting that clear roadmap for those first critical steps and, hey, maybe avoiding a few common pitfalls along the way. Now, the very first thing the guide stresses, and it might seem super obvious, is identifying a real need in the market. But this is everything, isn't it? You can't just build something because it's cool. It has to solve a problem.
Absolutely. I mean, you could have the most mind-blowing AI tech imaginable, but if it doesn't actually solve a real problem, a problem that a lot of people or businesses are facing, well, you're not going to get very far. It's like building a super fast car that no one wants to drive. And what I found really interesting is how the guide pushes us to actively explore different sectors. It specifically mentions healthcare, finance, marketing, logistics, cybersecurity as potential gold mines for AI solutions. It's not just saying, oh, look for a problem. It's saying, here are some places where AI can really shine.
Right, it's giving us some direction. And then it's not just any problem either. The guide really makes you think about three key things during your research. First, is there actually demand for a solution to this problem? Is there a big enough pool of potential customers out there? Second, what's already out there? Who's the competition? And what are they not doing so well? What are their limitations? And third, and this is huge, is AI actually the best, most effective way to tackle this problem? Is it even feasible?
Yeah, those are like filters, right? They help you separate the good ideas from the ones that might sound cool but just wouldn't work in the real world. It's so easy to get caught up in all the excitement around AI, but these three questions bring you back down to earth. And if we think about the big picture, what we're really talking about is making sure you're building something that people truly need, something they're willing to pay for, and something where AI gives you a real edge over what's already out there. You're not just reinventing the wheel.
Totally. So while you're listening, I want you to think about it. What are some of those everyday frustrations or inefficiencies you come across? Maybe at work, maybe in your personal life. Could AI offer a better way to do things? It's that kind of thinking that can spark a really viable business. Okay, so you found your problem, your need. Now what? Well, according to our trusty guide, the next logical step is figuring out how you're actually going to make money. What's your business model going to be? How will this AI solution generate revenue?
This is where things start to get a bit more concrete. The guide lays out 4 common AI business models, which is really helpful because it gives you a framework, some options to consider. The first one is AI as a service, or AIS. You can think of this as offering AI capabilities as a utility, almost like electricity or the internet. You're providing ready-made AI tools, or APIs, those application programming interfaces, which are basically building blocks that other businesses can plug into their existing software without having to build the AI from the ground up themselves.
Okay, so it's kind of like providing the AI engine that powers other companies' solutions. Makes sense. What about the second model?
That would be custom AI solutions. And this is a more tailored approach. Like, you're an AI consultant. You're developing unique, bespoke, custom-made AI systems for individual companies who have their own specific challenges and needs.
So you're really going deep with a client to create a solution that's perfectly suited to them. Got it. What about the third model? What's that one all about?
That's AI-powered products. This is where you create and sell your own standalone AI-driven software. Think about things like smart chatbots that can handle customer service inquiries, or recommendation engines that suggest products to you when you're shopping online. You see those all the time on e-commerce sites, or automation tools that streamline specific business tasks.
So it's taking that AI and building a full-fledged product around it. Cool. And what about the last model? What's number 4?
The final one is data monetization. This one's interesting. It involves analyzing huge data sets and then selling the valuable insights you get from that data to other businesses who can use that information to their advantage. It's like, imagine a company analyzing traffic patterns and then selling that data to urban planners so they can design better cities.
So it's about turning data into a product. That makes sense. Now, These models, they don't have to be completely separate, right? You could offer an AI product, but also do some custom AI development on the side.
You're absolutely right. They can definitely overlap. But if you're just starting out, it's probably smarter to pick one model and really focus on that. What feels like the most natural and effective way to deliver your solution based on that problem you identified? What fits best with your vision?
Totally agree. You got to focus. Okay, so you've got your idea, your business model, but now how do you actually build this thing? Our guide talks a lot about the expertise you need, and it's really a mix of technical skills and business savvy. You need both sides of the coin.
Oh, for sure. On the technical side, the guide specifically mentions knowledge of machine learning and deep learning frameworks. And it even names some of the big ones like TensorFlow, PyTorch, scikit-learn. These are the tools that data scientists and AI developers use to build and train AI models. It's like, imagine a carpenter's toolkit.
hmm
These are the hammers and saws of AI development.
Okay, so you need those core tools. What else?
The guide also emphasizes cloud computing platforms, AWS, Google Cloud, Azure. Those are the big ones because AI often needs a ton of computing power, and these platforms provide that, along with the ability to scale your infrastructure as you grow. You don't want to be limited by your own hardware.
Makes sense. What about the actual data itself?
Oh, that's key. The guide stresses the importance of data science and big data analytics. It's all about knowing how to collect, process, and interpret massive data sets. And then, of course, you need software development and automation skills to actually build and deploy those AI solutions.
Wow, that sounds like a lot. What if you don't have that super technical background yourself? Can you still build an AI business?
You absolutely can. The guide has some great advice for this. It says if you're lacking those technical skills, seriously consider partnering with experienced AI developers or even outsourcing those parts of your business. You don't have to do it all yourself.
That's reassuring. So it's more about understanding the market, the problem you're solving, and having strong business sense.
Right.
You can bring in the technical expertise through partnerships or hiring. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, what about actually building something? It can't all just be planning,
Of
right?
course not. You got to build something, test it, see if it works. And this is where the guide really emphasizes the power of the MVP, the minimum viable product.
Okay, so not a fully polished, feature-rich AI system right off the bat. What exactly is an MVP?
It's about addressing that core problem you identified, but with a very basic functional AI solution. The key words here are basic and functional. It has to deliver on its main promise, but without all the bells and whistles that can come later. You're not trying to build the Taj Mahal on the first try.
So focus on the essentials. Get something out there quickly. Why is that so important?
Because the guide stresses that this MVP should be developed quickly. You don't want to spend years in a cave building the perfect product only to come out and find the world has moved on. Get it out there fast so you can start getting real-world feedback. See how people actually use it, what they like, what they don't like, what's confusing, what's missing, and then you use that feedback to make it better.
Ah, so it's all about testing and learning, iterating, like a constant cycle of improvement.
Exactly, and the guide even suggests leveraging open source AI tools and pre-train AI models to speed things up and save money. I mean, why start from scratch if there are already great building blocks out there?
Yeah, totally. Don't reinvent the wheel. Now, even building a minimum viable product, it still takes money, right? So let's talk funding. Our guide outlines a few different options.
Funding is always a challenge for startups, and AI businesses can be especially expensive. All that computing power, specialized talent, it adds up. So the guide starts with bootstrapping, which basically means funding your venture yourself using your own savings or any early revenue you can generate.
So it's like the DIY approach to funding. What are some other options if you don't have tons of cash sitting around?
Well, there's the more traditional route of pitching your idea to angel investors. Those are individuals who invest their own money in early stage companies. And then there are venture capital firms, or VCs, who manage larger pools of money and invest in companies with high growth potential, usually in exchange for ownership in the company.
Okay, so you're seeking out investors who believe in your vision. What else?
The guide also highlights something particularly relevant for AI, government grants and AI accelerators. These are specific programs designed to support innovation in AI. And they often provide not just funding, but also mentorship, resources, connections. It's definitely worth looking into what's available in your area or country.
So there's potential support out there from the government and these specialized programs. Great. Any other options worth considering?
The guide also mentions crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo. These can be a way to raise smaller amounts of money from a lot of people who are passionate about your idea and want to support it.
So it's like tapping into the power of the crowd. Now, you don't have to choose just one funding method, right? You can mix and match.
Exactly. It really depends on your situation, how much money you need, what stage your business is at. The key is to be clear about your funding needs and have a compelling story to tell potential investors or grant providers about why your AI business is worth supporting.
Right. It's all about communicating your vision. Okay, so you've built your MVP, secured some funding, but now you need to let people know you exist. The guide talks about the importance of a strong go-to-market strategy. You can't just build a great product and expect people to magically find it.
Absolutely, you got to get the word out there. The guide mentions several marketing approaches. Content marketing is crucial for establishing your credibility and showing your expertise in AI. This means creating valuable content like blog posts, white papers, case studies that show what your AI can do and how it benefits users.
So it's about proving your value, educating people about your solution. What else?
Social media and community engagement are essential. Platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, participating in AI forums and communities online. These are great ways to connect with potential customers, partners, and influencers in the AI world.
Right, it's about building relationships, being part of the conversation. What about more traditional networking?
The guide highlights partnerships and strategic networking as well. Collaborating with other businesses, especially those offering complementary products or services, can open up huge opportunities. And just building strong relationships with leaders and innovators in the AI field can be incredibly beneficial.
So it's not just about marketing, it's about building a network, working together. And what about actually showing people what your AI can do?
Offering demos and trial offers is a great way to attract early adopters and win over potential customers. Letting them actually experience your AI can be way more effective than just telling them about it.
Like, don't just talk about it, show it. Makes sense. What's the most important thing to keep in mind with all this marketing stuff?
You got to be crystal clear about what makes your AI solution special. What specific problem does it solve, and why is it better than the alternatives? You have to communicate that clearly and consistently.
Got it. Okay, so you've launched, you're gaining traction. What's next? The guide then looks ahead to the scaling phase, which is all about growth. But that brings a whole new set of challenges and exciting opportunities.
It does. Once you've got that initial momentum, the focus shifts to achieving sustainable growth. The guide suggests several strategies for this. One is expanding your AI product line or service offerings. As you get to know your customers better, you can develop new AI-powered solutions to meet their evolving needs. You're not just a one-trick pony.
So it's about evolving with your customers, offering more value. What about the AI itself? How does that keep improving?
That's where continuous learning and refinement come in. The more data your AI algorithms process, the smarter and more accurate they become. So investing in data acquisition and model improvement is essential. It's like training your AI to be a better athlete, constantly pushing it to the next level.
So it's not a set it and forget it thing. You got to keep working on it, keep improving it. What about the team itself?
You probably need to bring in more specialized talent. The guide mentions expanding your team with more AI experts, but also with people skilled in sales, marketing, business development. You need people who can drive growth and expand your reach.
So it's about building a team that can handle the demands of a growing business. Makes sense. What about expanding beyond your initial market?
That's another key growth strategy, entering new markets and industries. The AI solutions you've built for one sector might also be applicable, maybe with some tweaks, to entirely different areas.
So it's about looking for new opportunities to apply your AI, new problems to solve. Interesting. What's the biggest challenge of this scaling phase?
I think it's about making smart decisions. You have limited resources, so where do you focus them? How do you maintain the quality of your offerings as you grow? And how do you stay ahead of the curve in a fast-paced tech world? These are the tough questions you have to answer.
So it's not just about growing bigger, it's about growing smarter. Now, let's take a step back and look at the big picture. What have we learned from this deep dive?
Starting an AI business, as our guide so clearly lays out, is a methodical, multifaceted journey.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Where does it all begin?
It all starts with identifying a real, pressing problem that AI can uniquely solve. Then you move on to defining your business model, getting the right expertise, whether it's in-house or through partners, testing your idea with an MVP, seeking funding, getting the word out, and planning for growth. It's a practical framework.
And hopefully this deep dive has given our listeners a clear understanding of those crucial first steps.
I think so. The guide is a fantastic roadmap for anyone considering this exciting path. And by understanding these fundamental stages, you'll be much better equipped to navigate the challenges and hopefully reap the rewards of launching your own AI startup.
So as we wrap up, I have one final question for our listeners. Considering everything we've talked about, what specific area within the vast world of AI really sparks your entrepreneurial spirit? Where do you see the biggest need for intelligent solutions? That's something to really think about as you consider taking that leap. And we highly encourage you to revisit the source material, How to Start an AI Business from Scratch.pdf, or do some more research in the areas that particularly resonated with you today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It's been a pleasure exploring this exciting world with you.
Absolutely. It's been great. Good luck out there to all the aspiring AI entrepreneurs.